My screen is visible now?
Yes. Reclaim Kibush, chapter
Yeah.
3.
So kibos, yes. So kibos meaning rejecting. Like
Oh,
if rejection, we can say rejection here. Reclaim kimbos. So welcome
uh-huh.
all, and we are starting a new chapter today, chapter 3, Reclaim Kimbos. Kibos. Um, so one of you, please take the initiative and start reading.
Sure, Bikash Bhai.
Yeah.
So, chapter 3, Reclaim Kibosh. By my estimation, you spend half of your waking hours at work. That makes your working world pretty significant. Thanks, Captain Obvious. Hopefully, that's one of the reasons this type of book was attractive to you. Though the title of this book begins with How to, I'm keenly aware that there is so much more to what you're doing on a day to day basis as a leader than a bunch of how to's. So before we dive into the how, sorry, so before we dive into the how of leading when you're not in charge, we need to spend some time on the why. The why of leadership is the engine that drives your leadership train. You are motivated by something inside of you, and you need to know what it is. When that engine goes awry, you should stop, give up your seat, get off at the nearest station, and find a super contemplative coffee shop to do some serious thinking. A distortion in motivation will limit your leadership and cause a host of issues that will follow you wherever your professional life takes you. The distortion I see for many young leaders revolves around one word: ambition. I call it a distortion for a reason. I believe God has placed desires inside of us, a desire for more, a desire to see things change, a desire to make things better, and a desire to lead. But those desires can easily get twisted. And when the ambition inside us is distorted, it affects every aspect of our leadership.
Great. So we have understood what is the importance of why, asking why before asking how, and in particular in the terms of leadership, and then how our ambitions, if getting distorted or not clear, then how our like life is going to be impacted. That we have understood. Now, may I request someone else to take over and start reading from here? Ambition defined.
Yes, Bikashi, may I?
Sure, Sunandi.
Ambition defined. Handling the hunger of ambition is tricky for any young leader. Knowing how to handle ambition as Jesus' followers is even trickier. The presence of ambition in a young Christian leader is complicated by oft distorted understandings of what it means to pursue ambition as a Christ follower. Faith leaders are all over the map on this subject, and it produces all kinds of flawed leadership paradigms. I have heard some leaders say it is wrong to follow your ambitions, while others have said we need to be more ambitious. I have seen ambition destroy leaders, and I have seen it motivate leaders to do the seemingly impossible. This diversity of views on this topic complicates what we think when we feel the drive of ambition in our hearts. Here, what I know to be true, we all have ambition inside us. Don't try to deny it. What you do with that ambition will make all the difference in your ability to lead when you are not in charge. How you currently think about the ambition inside you is the product of your personal wiring and your past mentors. But what you do with that ambition going forward is on you. When I talk to the young leaders on the topic of ambition, I get lots of questions. Is it even okay to have ambition? Is God okay with ambition? Would he prefer I have less ambition, or does he want me to be more ambitious? So let us start with a simple definition. What is the ambition? What is ambition? I define ambition as that strong desire we have to make something or to achieve something, even when it takes great effort, focus, and determination. It is worth paying attention to that hunger you have because it is not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it is a key part of the drive that moves you to cultivate influence. The desire of ambition can take many forms. It can be the desire in you to create beautiful art, help others reach their potential, build space for kids to get off the streets, establish a platform to give a voice to the voiceless, produce a large event for those who have written of Jesus. In its purest form, there is nothing wrong with ambition. It is one of the hallmarks of leadership. Do you feel it? Drink it in because it is good. Ambition is what drives us to want more opportunities, to have more influence, and to contribute to the overall mission of life with greater impact. The problem for many leaders is that they do not know what to do with that drive. Letting it run wild can be disastrous, but putting it on mute doesn't work either. I have tried both. I'll bet you have too. Should I go ahead?
Yeah, let's give the opportunity to others also. Thank you, Sumanji. So who is going to take the next turn? Emaliji, Balaji, anyone?
Yeah, let me try. Just give me a
Sure.
moment. Yeah.
Sure.
Even though it's from even though, right?
Ambition does not
Okay.
magically.
Yeah. Ambition doesn't magically begin when you are placed in charge. Even though leaders need their drive, this drive to lead, ambition doesn't wait for authority to show up. Ambition doesn't magically begin when you are placed in charge. Believing that you need a positive authority to exercise your ambition is like and is a lie. Sorry, is a lie. And as soon as the lie takes root in you will find yourself losing the influence you desire to cultivate and develop. Worse, failing to direct your ambition in good and healthy ways can twist it, and sometimes meant for good can be sorry, and for good and healthy ways can twist it to something meant for good can be co-opted by a selfish motive or a narrow focus that is of no benefit to anyone but you. That is, should I continue?
Yeah, otherwise we can also give it to Himalji. Himalji, you want to take over?
Yeah, okay. The distortions of our ambition can be simplified into two extremes, like a swinging pendulum. These two manifestations are equally dangerous. In my own life, I have gone through both. I have gone to both extremes at different times. when the ambition inside me has grown distorted. Each of us will naturally lean towards one way or the other, and many leaders will swing back and forth between these two extremes. The f- the first okay. The first response of many leaders, especially Christian leaders, is to look for ways to kill their ambition. If you've been taught to view ambition as a danger to spiritual growth and impediment to being a follower of Jesus, the spiritual thing to do is to kill it. Because our hearts are naturally deceitful, we cannot trust our desires. Unconstrained ambition may just be a selfish desire. I know many church leaders who struggle with their ambition because they see it as an expression of selfishness or a desire for promotion that might come at an expense of others. If that's true, what is the easiest and the most common way for you to avoid that kind of ambition? You get rid of it, because we follow the one who said, if your right eye causes you to stumble, gouge it out. Some leaders take this approach with their ambition drowning their dreams, abandoning their hopes, and ceasing to pursue more. Why? Because they aren't sure how to channel that desire to lead and bring change into something good and positive. Others may look at that desire and look at their current role and decide that since they haven't been put in charge, they are not the right one to do anything about it. They they have believed the lie we first saw in chapter 1. To have influence, you need to be in charge. Since they are not in leadership role, they assume the desire is wrong or sinful, a sign of rebellion, perhaps. This is okay. Should
Yeah, thank you, Amalji. Yeah, last 1 minute is there, so let me continue from here. This is where I was just a few years ago when I became a campus pastor. I had a lot of ambition for our campus, for our teams, and for myself. I had grand ideas around how we would interact with new guests, what our music culture would feel like, how to bring synergy to the student and children's ministries, and how to create more energy in our adult services. Right or wrong, I felt hamstrung by the structure of authority above me. Without realizing it, the ambition and the vision for a change I had inside me had grown distorted. So I put it all on mute. I shut it down, thinking that the time was not right. It was not until that crucial moment in Andy's office that it dawned on me and that I was not acting wisely or responsibly with my ambition. I was killing it, and killing it is not the answer. Looking back, I can see where my ambition started moving off course from how we are designed. I was raised in a church where the desire to do something with my life was too easily confused with the desire to make something of my life. Ambition was outlawed in the name of pity and humility. The people were well meaning, but the message was clear: kill the ambition before it kills you. When it came to ambition, I thought the rapper Ice Cube said it best. You better check you. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Nice metaphor. It says, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. My senior year of high school, I remember an itinerant preacher rolling through our church, selling a different take on ambition. He told our youth group that we needed to have a holy ambition at the time. Holy ambition. At the time, I thought it was just another wide Christian phrase and a terrible name for a mid 90s Christian boy band. I could imagine the announcement over the PA system at the youth group. Forget Backstreet and Sync and 90 degrees. You do not have to go for that because tonight we have the latest band to hit the Christian music scene. Holy ambition. Cue the track, hit the stage, crowd goes wild. At least that's how it went in my mind. So now that we have completed for today's reading, I would like you to share at least one line of the main takeaway that you feel is important from today's reading.
What I got was ambition is required actually for leadership, any kind of leadership quality to be built. But we must be careful to distinguish whether it is just mere desire gone out of control or whether it is kind of karmically been planted where we have to achieve certain goals or certain things that we have to do in this life for growth,
Right.
for personal growth. So we have to be careful and observe the difference between the two.
Yeah. Like in many spiritual groups, actually, this is how actually it has been taught that desires are the root cause of dukkha or sorrow.
Evil.
Yeah, evil.
Sorrow,
So
yeah.
in Buddhism, it is primarily told that Buddha, I think Buddha only told that the desire, दुख का कारण इच्छा है. In Hindi, it is called दुख का कारण इच्छा है.
Yeah.
But we need to understand what is that ichha which creates dukkha. It is not that every ichha creates dukkha. Like the author mentioned that if the desire is not a selfish desire, if it is for a higher cause, then it is always good to have the desire. But if we are misunderstanding and always thinking that desire is always selfish and there is no greater cause involved in the desire that we can possess, then definitely we will be keeping ourselves in a distorted desireful state or no desire, kill desire state. So if you see the diagram here, the ambition distorted diagram where it has been told that the leaders many times actually travel from this edge to that edge, either in the kill ambition state or in the over ambitious or wild ambitious state. And that is dangerous. In both the cases, actually, it is dangerous. We need to have the clarity, the right kind of, possess the right kind of desire. Very, very important chapter indeed, because to be very truthful, in my initial spiritual journey, I also have got this same distorted desire and how and why we should not have the desire, and I have suffered a good amount of I have to pay. Yeah, the impact is actually multifold. Actually, it has cascaded to many further years. So later I understood that it is not the desire which is wrong, but the right kind of desire actually has to be cultivated, and that's how actually the author is mentioning with many examples which is coming up, and tomorrow we will be continuing from here. Or before I end, if anyone else want to give their views also, please feel free to share.
Yeah, my learning was that we need to keep checking and questioning our ambition as well as our ways. So whatever you are doing, you need to have a proper reason. So when you start searching for a reason, you will immediately know whether it is a healthy desire or a desire, I mean, which end of the scale that you are standing in. Either you are in the middle or you are in the unhealthy parts.
Yes, very true. That means asking the why part. Initially,
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we started with this same, the why relationship or the why of leadership is very important.
Yes.
Thank you.
I
Anyone?
Yeah. You know what? I think if we connect this to the Indian context, I think it becomes very clear where we have the four Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and all of them, if they are pursued in the right way, I mean, with Dharma at the base of it, then moksha automatically comes. One doesn't need to work extra for moksha. So, Artha and Kama both are respected as long as they are in the purview of dharma, with dharma in the background. And if that happens, then any kind of desire is fine, in the sense when dharma is in place, and that will automatically lead you towards moksha. Another thing what I remember is that the scriptures also say that it is a sin to die die poor, because if you are rich and if you utilize that money for the larger good of the society, then nothing like it, you've fulfilled your aims in life. So that is
Dharma.
how, if one can, relate it to the Indian context, I think things become even more clear.
Very good. You have actually got the right context and right example you have given. Dharma, Artha, Moksha, Kama and Moksha. So Dharma is a pillar. On that, we need to decide whether the desire for earning money, Artha and Kama, that is correct or not as per Dharma. And that definitely is a good paras patthar to understand whether to discard the desire or reframe the desire or completely get rid of it. Yeah. Thank you for sharing the view, Emily. Any last comment, Manji, if you want?
What did you say Kibosh was cursed by?
Kibos is rejection.
Rejection. Okay.
Yes, I like this line very much. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. I think earlier Ramesh ji and Himali ji, all they have made it clear
Yes.
that
You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. So we need to keep checking. We need to keep asking the question why I am doing what I am doing. After that, how and what will be very clear and easy. And this
yes,
why, how, why, what, and where. There are 5. These things are there. No? We should keep on asking, and that will bring ultimate clarity in our pursuit of happiness. Pursuit of anything that we are doing will be clear, and that is very important. Great, thank you. So we overstood by some 10 minutes, I think, today. 5 minutes, 6 minutes, so it's okay. But tomorrow I will try to get myself free little early, 1:45, and will join. I'm sorry for today's little delay to start the meeting. Let's connect again tomorrow.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask, was yesterday's session recorded? I could not join yesterday.
Yes, it is recorded. I will share the link in the group. And
yesterday was very interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. Especially the discussion part towards the end is very interesting. And maybe you can subscribe to the channel. So every day the recording links will be automatically published and you will get a notification.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vikash ji. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you all.